Alright guys, let's talk about this Oscar Peterson lick that's from Blues Volume 3. So I've always loved this idea of going up within the blues scale, but also using the octave and the space within the octave. So what we're doing here is, I want you to get the spacing of the octave, which is pretty obvious, but now 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hopefully you can see the music in there. This is from Blues Volume 3. And let's just talk about what's happening. In the left hand you have eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And in fact, this whole chorus, along with Blues Volume 1 and Volume 2, also had this eighth note bass line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And as a reminder, I want you guys to use fingers 5 and 2 to 5 and 1. You can do 5 1, but it's just so much easier once you get used to this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then in the right hand you're starting on the end of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so a couple things we noticed. We're starting on the and of 1 with the C note, 1 and 2. So beat 2 gets this E flat and C. This is really important because you know that that's the downbeat of 2, 1 and 2 and. So then we bring our thumb under. Now if for some reason your hand is a little bit smaller maybe and you have trouble reaching E flat to C, then just use your thumb on there. So you just go 1 and 2 and. You see how easy that is? Just pick up your hand, 1 and 2. Both fingerings work absolutely fine, and whatever works for you. Everybody has a different hand size and different hand shape, and different things are comfortable for different people. So I want you to know that there are lots of finger options no matter what your hand size is. So let's go ahead and do this again. The way I like to practice is slow and straight. I always say that if you could play it slow and straight, you can do anything, and I really do believe that. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm just going to practice the first measure. You can practice one measure at a time or two measures at a time, or even breaking it down by beat. 1 and 2 and. All right, that's a good little goal. 1 and 2 and now we're on beat 3. 3 and notice that I'm fingers 2 and 3, F to F sharp. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then once I get to beat 4, I'm on G and C. So let me actually do that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'm on the A note. And that covers measure 1. So maybe I'll just practice that for a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm on measure 2. Now a couple more things. If you're practicing it slow and straight, know that eventually you'll be able to think in terms of triplets. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then. And that is actually sort of the secret sauce. You have eighth notes and you start to think, well, how in the world am I going to make it swing? Or how am I going to make this bass line right here swing and really feel good? And the answer is you think in triplets. 1 and then 2 and then. Sometimes people say 1 triplet, 2 triplet. I like 1 and then 2 and then 3. So I can practice it slow and straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But I can also do this. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then. So notice that the first beat, the C, gets 1 and then. So it's held a little bit longer on this triplet rhythm. 1 and then we repeat the C and G again on 1 and then. So the last part of the triplet rhythm. 1 and then you do the same thing on C and A. 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then. But going back to my classical training, I always had the idea of, if even in jazz or blues, if you're having trouble especially, just play it slow and straight where you can really line everything up. So in this case we're doing 1 and then 2 and then. Again, 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then. And then notice that I can also practice it very slow and very straight. 1 and 2 and. I did that wrong. 1 and 2 and that is something. So I hit a wrong note, but also you have to get used to going under with your thumb, and that's what is a little bit tricky about this one idea. 1 and 2 and. So I'm seeing where the beats line up. 1 and 2 and then when I'm on C and G, I'm in F and C together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let me do it one more time, slow and straight. I can even play it as slow as I need to go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the next thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and do measure 2 while we're at it. And notice that I start up here on B flat and C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I'll do it slow and straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice that my fingering is 5-4 together. 1 and 2. I'm on A and C to F sharp. And then 3 and 4 and with the left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now a quick, almost an announcement. I'm about to go into the store, and we've been talking about Blues Volume 1, Blues Volume 2, and I probably have had 10 to 15 more people buy Blues Volume 1, Volume 2, and somebody recently got the 20 tips for 5-minute practice success. You guys know I've been on this thing where I'm giving everything away, and I say, hey, here are all the examples. And so I've done it for Blues Volume 1, Blues Volume 2. They're all on YouTube all the way through. It's not the courses, but I'm using the courses and I'm showing you, hey, here's how I practice every single lick. So make sure you go and check those out. Blues Volume 1 is out there. I say every lick from Blues Volume 1. Every lick from Blues Volume 2. Same thing from our 20 tips for 5-minute practice success. Also the Blues Alternate Bassline course, and I made them all. All of those courses are in my store at iMusicAcademy.com for $14.99. That's the lowest I can do, and you guys have been amazing. I'm even giving it away, of course. And some of you have, well, actually quite a few of you now have been purchasing those. And so know that that I also send you the beginning blues sheet. Now, what in the world is that? But I've been sending this to you guys because you know the first 5 notes of the blues scale, and we say, well, there's so many things you can do for the blues scale. You can say the first 5 notes, and you can do this. So it's like two pages long of different ideas you can use just with the first 5 notes of the blues scale, which is a nice little supplement that we use in our Blues Academy. The reason I'm telling you all that is it's all out there and it's all free, but you guys have also been taking advantage of getting my old courses. So I started creating courses in 2016. Blues Volume 1, Blues Volume 2 was, I want to say 17, and then maybe Blues Volume 3 in 18 or 19. And then we've even done Blues Volume 4, we've done Blues Alternate Bass Line, 20 tips. So I've done all kinds of courses, but even my older courses are really fun, and in my opinion, they're really good because they're all like this. They all have a clickable index. Let me just show you guys if you're just stumbling on this channel. So Blues Volume 1, if you want to see the sheet music, you just click on it and it's right there. And if you want to watch the lesson to anything, all you do is click right here and you go boom. I'm sorry, there's the sheet music, and you say, I want to watch the video. And it'll take you right to the private playlist that shows you all of these. So I teach all of my courses really in depth, like the kind of the way I'm teaching you guys now, where I say, all right, I want you to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and because I know what it's like to want to play the blues and want to improvise and things, but you have to know how to build a vocabulary. It's good to work with somebody. It doesn't have to be me, it can be anybody, but working with somebody who says, hey, you know, I've been there, I know what you're talking about, like even learning something like this. There are so many tips that I could tell you with this one idea to help you get better at playing the blues. And let me just demonstrate that. So if you learn this shape right here, when I go to the key of F, it's the exact same shape. Same thing on G. So as you start to play in C, on F, and in G, you're using the same exact hand motion, the same exact muscle memory. You're just on different notes. But there are other things that you start to notice. Well, this is the minor third, right? and it's going up the blues scale, but it's also going up chromatically. You see that? I go E flat, E, F, F sharp, G. All those notes are chromatic until it gets to the fifth, and it goes sixth, and then the flat seven and root. And the reason all of this is important is because I start to say, okay, everything I'm doing now is within the octave, and I'm going minor third, and then chromatically up to the G, the fifth note, which is really important because the other thing that I'm doing is notice that on this specific lick, I do 1 and 2. There's a minor third in the root on top, 1 and 2 chromatically, and 3 and 4 and, but also every time I'm going to the downbeat, I'm hitting a C on top. 1 and here's my C on top, 2 chromatically up, and here's the downbeat. So I'm always hitting that C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and even on the way down, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Now, as I'm teaching you these ideas, I say, okay, let's do that exact same idea on the key of F. And you say, all right, there's my F octave, so we're starting there. What did we say we're going to do? A minor third, so A flat. So I do 1 and 2, and now we're going to go up chromatically, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you see what's happening up here. We're building up patterns. So even on G we have the same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that again slowly. 1 and 2 chromatically up, 3 and 4 and now we have F and G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then if you put it all together, you go back to the key of C and you say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I start thinking more in terms of triplets. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and 4 and then 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then. Well, there it is, one of my favorite Oscar Peterson licks. I love it because it's within the octave. It has the C on top, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And notice how it fits under the hand, just really nice. So when I transpose it in any key, I think of the octave. And now I think minor third chromatically up with a repeated note on the top. So it doesn't matter what key I'm in. If I go to B flat, same thing. Minor third chromatically up. If I'm in E flat, there it is, minor third. So have fun with that, guys. Let me know if you're enjoying these. Once again, after this video, I'm going right to the store, and I'm going to make that one $14.99 as well. You don't have to get any of my courses, but I sure do appreciate all the different people who have been getting the courses, even though I've been putting everything out there for free. Also, just in other fun, exciting news, know that we have Bob's Chord Academy that starts September 20th. I'm so excited about that. So stay tuned for that. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.